Welcome to Improve Your English Writing video number 2. This is part 1 in a 3-part series on essential grammar. This video will cover the required grammar skills needed to improve your writing and punctuation. Also the 8 parts of English speech, English sentence word order, and clauses and phrases. So if you want to get notifications for the series, please click subscribe. If you like the video, please hit like. And there are links to books and videos in the description. So what are the required grammar skills to have superior writing and good punctuation? Well, those are the ability to identify an independent clause, the ability to identify a dependent clause. If you don't know what those are, I'll cover them. Identify a verbal phrase, identify a prepositional phrase, identify conjunctions, and those are coordinating conjunctions and subordinating conjunctions, and also under conjunctions, conjunctive adverbs and transitional expressions. And lastly, the ability to determine if a sentence element is essential or non-essential. If you're not too sure what any of these are, then I would go through the rest of the video or essential grammar series, the 3-part series. So what are the 8 English parts of speech? A noun, which is just a person, place, or thing. And a proper noun is a specific person, place, or thing. A pronoun, which is just a substitute for a noun, he, she, it, etc. A verb, which expresses action or a state of being. A adjective, which modifies or describes a noun, so like big and red. An adverb, which modifies or describes a verb, an adjective, or another adverb, so like slowly or not. A conjunction, which joins words, phrases, and clauses. The 3 most popular are and, but, and however. A preposition, which these connect nouns or pronouns to other words or sentence elements, so on, above, or over. And last but not least, interjections, which express feeling. So let's see these in a sentence. Here we have the sentence here. Wow, the old man carefully and slowly handed her 2 books on the oak table. The question is, can you identify all the parts of speech? I recommend that you hit pause on the video, go through it, go back to the last slide, see if you can identify all 8. Great, hopefully you paused. Here are the answers. So I've now color-coded them. I've gone through and color-coded them to the answers. That way it makes it easier. So nouns in blue, there's 3 of them: man, books, and table. So they're in blue. Pronoun, there's 1 pronoun, her, right here. It's in sort of a light blue. A verb, handed, 1 verb, it's in red. An adjective, there's 2 thes, so it occurs twice. Oak, 2, or whoops, old, oak. Oh, wow. The, old, 2, and oak. There's 2 adverbs, carefully and slowly. There's 1 conjunction, and. 1 preposition, on. And 1 interjection, wow, which is not colored. So there you go. You can go through these. That way you go through that sentence, practice pulling out the different English parts of speech. And as you go through the grammar review, if this seems difficult right now, after the grammar review and getting into the video series, I bet if you came back to this, that this would be much easier. So English sentence word order. So in English, the expected word order is subject, then verb, then object. Sometimes just abbreviated SVO. So statements like, I kicked the ball is subject, verb, object, order. That's a statement. A command, usually you leave off the subject, like stop that. The you is usually the implied subject. It could just be stop. It just, don't have to have an object. Questions are usually the verb comes first. It's verb, subject, then object, except for when you use these who, what, where, you can have subject, verb, object. Where are you? Where is Timmy? Is subject, verb, object. But if you could say is or is, you could, the question could be, is Tommy at home? So there you can see there's a question, the verb comes first. So the most important thing that I'm really trying to convey here is identifying the verb and the subject. This will become important for identifying clauses and phrases. So can you find the subject and the verb? The verb expresses, you start with the verb, you find the action, because the verb expresses action. And then you say the subject is the who or what is doing the action. I'm going to get to examples. And the direct object, so we get to objects, there's something called the direct object. That's the who or what about the verb. And the indirect object is the to whom or from whom about the verb. So let's do some examples. This will clarify it for you. So we have the example, she kicked the ball. So the action is kicked. What is doing the action? The action is kicked. The subject is who or what kicked? She kicked. The direct object is she kicked what? The ball. And we've used all the words, so we know there's no direct object. We're done. How about the next example is I gave him the money. So what's the action? The action is gave. Who or what gave? I gave. So that's the subject. The direct option is I gave what? Money. The indirect object was I gave to or for whom. So in this case, it would be I gave to whom. It would be him. So the good, if you don't know, in English sentence, this indirect object could be placed. It will usually occur after the verb and before the direct object. You can just stick it there, or sometimes it comes after at the end of the sentence, but it has the word to with it. So this sentence you could write the sentence I gave him the money, or I gave the money to him, and therefore it actually answers the direct question or the indirect object question of to or for whom. In this case, it's placed after the verb and before the direct object. So if we go back to the sentence that we had on the previous slide, we can identify, let's use that as an example. What is the action the last, wow, the old man carefully and slowly handed her 2 books on the oak table. What is the action? Well, the action is handed. Who or what handed? Well, the old man handed, but it's the man handed. The man handed what? Books. Man handed to whom? To her. You could actually boil this sentence down, because all these other things are adjectives and adverbs, to the man handed her books. That's actually the core of the sentence. Everything else here is just an adjective or an adverb or a prepositional phrase. So as you can see, these maybe if you weren't too sure how the sentence was constructed or what is what, hopefully you can start to see how we're piecing together. But the most important part is being able to go into a sentence and identify the subjects and the verb and the subject. So you got to find the action, and then you got to ask who or what is doing the action. Let's move on to clauses and phrases. What is a clause? A clause is a group of related words containing a subject and a predicate. A predicate is just a verb plus any modifiers or complements. So you can most people would probably say verb here, but it's really the predicate. So a clause contains a subject, and I'll just say a verb, but it's really a predicate. So a clause contains a subject and a predicate. So, and clauses are either classified as independent or dependent. We'll get there, I believe, in the next video. So we know what a clause is, but how do we tell the difference between an independent clause and a dependent clause? Just remember, a clause has a subject and a predicate. That means a phrase is a group of related words without a subject, a predicate, or both. So it's missing one. So a phrase is a group of related words which is missing one of these, a subject, predicate, or both. Common types of phrases are a prepositional phrase, like, from the big long sentence in a previous slide, on the oak table. On is a preposition. On the oak table is a prepositional phrase. Another type of common phrases are verbal phrases. Here are 3 examples. Having no time, soaked with water, to master writing. So having is the verb. You can see that the verbal phrases start with a verb. I'll go into more of this in more detail. Having no time, soaked is a verb, soaked with water, and to master writing. So those are some examples of verbal phrases. That's it for this video. If you want to get notifications for the series, please click subscribe. If you like the video, please hit like, and check out links to books and videos in the description. Thank you.